Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another showcase event. Hold, please, while I try and figure out why. Huh. Well, let's do this then. Well, it works, so yeah. Okay, why does that do that then? Because I prefer not to showcase my background. Do. I do apologize. Okay. For some weird reason, this is not working. So you guys are going to get that whenever I have to throw caution. And what's weirder... Oh, for fuck's sakes. So because of that, it changes. What the... Okay, let's see if we can do this. It is, though. Okay, we're gonna try something else. Okay. So it looks like we might be in the business. All right, we got it fixed. Okay. So we're gonna look at, I guess now we've got this moment we can. We're gonna look here. So here's your point standings. To note, Bobby, Dale, and Tony aren't actually correct. Bobby and Dale are both ahead of Steve Park, and Tony is ahead of Jeff Gordon. There was a mistake made at the beginning of the season. I mistakenly set it up, and these two got, or these three got secondary drivers because I did different paint schemes for them. So that's the thing that happened, and I screwed that up. But we've fixed that, and I'm keeping track of the points themselves elsewhere, and I'll update it later. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. These three are actually sitting higher than they show, essentially. And Harvick obviously has been our surprise so far, and we've had, was it 8 different winners? Yeah, 8 starts, 8 different winners. Rusty, Harvick, Benson, Martin, Ricky Rudd, Jeff Burton, and Dale Earnhardt Sr. Oh, and John Andretti. So we'll go through this since now I've kind of been stuck back into it. So Rockingham was 4 caution laps, and it was a Rusty Wallace win there. Although Jeff led the most laps. The following race was the UAW Daimler Chrysler Vegas caution-free race. Todd Bodine, the surprise that race, able to finish second, but Mark Martin was your winner. Cracker Barrel 500. This was a race that was dominated by Dale Earnhardt Sr., but right at the end, just kind of a late caution kind of set him up in a bad position, and as such, wasn't able to hold on to the lead. The Carolina Dodge Dealers 400 from Darlington, Johnny Benson and Dale Jr. Kind of had the run of the field. Bobby Labonte had a good race. There were a lot of good ones. Dale got out and led some in this race. 41 laps, lost a header. Dale Jarrett lost the clutch. It was just kind of one of those races, you know. After that was the Food City 500. This was just, yeah. There were 8 cautions. Some were nuts. It ended up with 2 cars on the lead lap. It was just one of those days, and Sterling and Andretti absolutely were the class of the field. The first win for Dodge since 1977. This happens a lot sooner than it did in real life, obviously, and yeah, there were just accidents galore in this one. I saw at least twice a car upside down in that race. Twice. At Bristol, nonetheless. Texas was the day of Dale. Although this one kind of flipped around, right? So Harvick led a good bit. Junior was up front for most of the race. He actually qualified on pole. The other one that led the most laps was Kurt Busch, and with about, as you can see, 14 laps to go, a valve failed. Who was running second? Dale Sr. Senior brought it home, and, well, there you go. Dale wins. Oh no, decent race from everybody involved there. And then we had Martinsville, the Virginia 500. And this was actually a lot of cautions. I had 16 of them. Jeff Burton would get the win. Dale Earnhardt had a great day. Bobby Labonte. Jeff Gordon led some. Dale Jarrett led some. Overall, an interesting event. Kevin LePage lost a tire. I think it's the first time I've seen that. All right. So that's a new one to me. But all right. And that gets us all caught up. So now everything's fixed. We're all caught up. We are ready for the second crown jewel of the season. So we will, of course, get this as I usually do. We skip practice, accelerate through qualifying, and then we skip to the race. And it is an RCR lockout on the front row. I'm going to accelerate this some. There we go. And we will go helicopter. All right, so hold on, give me one second. Okay, I can outshout the helicopter, it looks. So then, as you can see, our pole sitter for this race here at the Talladega Superspeedway will be Dale Earnhardt. To his outside is Mike Skinner. Rolling off from third is Mark Martin, and in fourth is Robert Presley. In fifth is Kyle Petty. In sixth is Dale Jarrett. Rolling off from seventh is Rusty Wallace. And eighth is Mike Wallace. Yeah, that's correct. Buckshot Jones rolling off from ninth. And rounding out the top 10 is Ron Hornaday Jr. Terry Labonte and Jimmy Spencer, that's right, make up the next row. Followed behind with Jeremy Mayfield and Jeff Gordon. Jeff sporting the Pepsi paint scheme. And I have fixed it so that I can do this where Jeff's running this different paint scheme this week. And it will still give points to Jeff as he is. So I fixed it. In the next row, we see Bobby Labonte and newcomer making the field for the first time this season over Stacy Compton, Bobby Hamilton Jr. Just Bobby Hamilton, not Bobby Hamilton Jr. Sorry, just Bobby. This was one of those I had to include him. He won this race, so I didn't realize that before. I had completely forgotten about that. I thought it was 2000 when he won it. It's 2001 when he wins this race. So he needed to be in the field now. Jeff Burton and Kurt Busch make up the next row, and then they're followed by their teammate and Ward Burton, so Matt Kenseth and Ward Burton. Then we have Joe Nemechek and John Andretti. Tony Stewart and Ricky Craven. The Daytona 500 champion Kevin Harvick and Jerry Nadeau. Not Jeremy Mayfield, but Casey Atwood and Dave Blaney, as the engines have been fired. And they're rolling. Ricky Rudd and Ken Schrader make up the next row. And they're followed behind by Sterling Marlin in the Target machine. So have to pay attention to that. And Johnny Benson. The next row is made up of Elliott Sadler and Andy Houston. And the following row is the DEI pair of Michael Waltrip and Dale Earnhardt Jr. They didn't qualify well, but still expect to see them move towards the front. In the 11 is Brett Bodine, and he is starting right beside Jason Leffler, who was the surprise showing at Daytona, and has had a good season. I mean, he's sitting like 14th or something in points, I think it was. I don't know. He's not doing terrible. We'll see how he can handle the season. In the second to last row, we see Bill Elliott on the outside and Todd Bodine on the inside. And making up the last row of the grid is Steve Clark and Kevin LePage. Now we're hoping that Kevin LePage is not Kevin LePage the field here at the Talladega Super Speedway. But either way, We have 188 laps here today. For the Talladega 500. The pace car is off, and of course, the wait is a lot longer here. As everybody knows, the start-finish line not in the center of the tri-oval. As they come through the tri-oval and past the exit pit road, they take the green flag, and we are underway here at the Talladega Superspeedway, and Buckshot Jones is immediately jumping to the inside, trying to get past Rusty Wallace. They're 3 wide back there, but it's Dale Earnhardt Sr. who's going to pull away first. Will he be able to lead them back and lead the field to the first lap? Kyle Petty looking to be the first one across the line for the first lap. Dale leads them 3 wide behind for second. 3 wide, actually a few rows deep, and they're even 4 wide as the Penske teammates run side by side. Plenty of room to do so here at the Talladega Superspeedway, but it's now Kyle Petty looking. Can he get around Dale Sr.? And now Terry Labonte to his inside. Texas Terry trying to eke out and maybe steal it, but no, it's Dale at the line first. And Dale leads them for the first lap. It's not going to hold up well. He's going to be on the outside. Bobby Labonte now looking to the inside here. With help from Jeff Gordon, Bobby's going to move up. He's clear. Now Jeff looking to the inside. Could we see 4 wide for the lead here soon? As Joe Nemechek trying to throw it in. Dale's all the way up by the wall, 4 wide with Kyle Petty up there. And it's Jeff Gordon leading them off the corner. Now Nemechek dives to his inside. Jeff all the way to the outside. Who's going to get it at the line? It's Bobby Hamilton. Hamilton takes the lead at the line and leads that lap. And this is something that I think we can expect the whole way through this race, as they're now 3 wide throughout the field. Kevin LePage is off the pace. Moves being made across the field. Will Bobby become the first person to lead 2 laps in this race? Tony's getting a run, but Bobby with the Hamilton with the big run here. And showcasing what this car has in it. Mikey already all the way up here to the front. And Bobby Hamilton does become the first driver to lead 2 laps in this race. But now he's immediately under threat from Jerry Nadeau. Nadeau goes to the point. Following through is Sterling Marlin in that Target Dodge. And we look for him shifting from the Silver Bullet. Oh, the beauty of super speedway racing. That is just a great shot. Harvick now looking to try to get around Atwood. Nadeau going to try and lead his first laps of the race. And he does. Looking throughout the field, and you can kind of see differing strategies. Senior all the way back here. He's falling towards the back. Jeff in that Pepsi car. So the differing strategies. And Kevin LePage all by himself. Now, Nadeau trying to lead a second lap as well. He's going to come under fire from Casey Atwood, who really needs to have a good race at this point. It hasn't gone well for him this season so far. Nadu leading him through the tri-oval will lead his second lap of the race as we complete the fifth lap. And just 180 some more to go. The field's starting to string out a little. Kevin Harvick now looking to the inside. Sterling Marlin now to his inside. And the field starts to kind of snake around in and of itself. You wonder if they haven't burnt off enough of the tire on this relatively older surface to warrant the cars just kind of needing to basically run in a single file line. Maybe they can't make the moves that they could right at the start of the race. Who knows? They are getting smarter, I guess you could say, or just they're playing it safe. I don't know. You see a couple jump out of line and move around, and you see it down the backstretch. They kind of snake their way around. Jeff Gordon looking to the inside of Jeff Burton, trying to get that Pepsi Chevrolet up to the front, not the DuPont Chevrolet that we've seen the whole season. This is the first race for Pepsi for him. I think they're on the car for 4 races. Of course, they'll be on the car for the next race we showcase as well, the Coca-Cola 600. And here comes rookie Kurt Busch. He's looking like he wants to do something. Now Jeff goes to his inside, and it's a Hendrick 1-2 at the front. Jeff and Nadu putting on a show so far. It's been the best showing we've seen from him. But Jeff's now thinking about it. He looks to the inside. Bobby Hamilton to his inside. And we're 3 wide for the lead. Again. Nadu holding his best on the outside. Hamilton coming through on the inside. And he's going to do just that. Jeff Gordon not going to get to lead a lap here, as Hamilton will retake the point with Ricky Rudd following close behind him. And looking through the field, Dale's kind of worked his way back up. Old Junebug lost the draft, so I don't know what's up with Junior. The car seems to be off today a little bit. I know the ratings shouldn't be, but I guess something's just off with Junior. Maybe he'll get a caution and things will get righted with whatever's wrong with that car. Ricky Rudd takes the lead. Now Texas Terry looking to go to his inside through the tri-oval. Can Terry get enough of help to propel himself to the lead at the line? And he will. Old Texas Terry takes the lead. 2 different Hendrick cars have led in this race. That outside line not going away is what I'm also noticing. Seems like this race is actually getting delicious in terms of where the strength is for these cars in the lines. As Terry takes the lead, drops down. Old Bill Elliott up here now. Mike Skinner, Buckshot Jones having a good race. Kyle Petty, both those guys, all 3 of those, Mike Skinner, Buckshot, and Kyle Petty really need a good race here today. So seeing them run up front is certainly a good showing, and at least for Buckshot's up, you can hope that car runs really well. The belief is he's probably out of a ride at Petty regardless. There have been some talks about where they might go, whether they drop to a 2-car team or maintain the 3rd car. What kind of sponsorship they'll have. But nonetheless, it is something that Buckshot needs for himself to potentially have a chance at a ride somewhere else to put on some good shows. Maybe showcase that maybe going away from him isn't the right decision. But ultimately, the team feels like the self-inflicted wounds could have been avoided in multiple cases. But now we see Ward Burton, or as we affectionately say, Wub Burton, lose the draft back there. Dale trying to make it work on the outside all by himself. Here we go. Texas Terry being the pride of the field right now. Just, you gotta love the way the drafting feels. I think the drafting, the pack racing in the Gen 4 era was the best. I will stand by it. I know it's a good consensus opinion, right? Most people agree with that thought process. That the Gen 4s probably had some of the best drafting. But it really was. Just you got a couple cars. It basically looked like this, right? A couple cars would get out in front, and a lot of the times they'd group up and pull away, right? You wouldn't see what Buckshot and Mike Wallace are doing, where they're jumping out of line. They would just get in line, and like 5 or 6, 7 cars would get in a single file line and just start pulling away. And then you just see the pack behind. And it's really cool to see. And now it's going to be the call here, as Texas Terry is going to get held up behind Kevin LePage. And this is going to cause a mad scramble here, because nobody knows what LePage is doing. LePage was off pace. We imagine he is a slow car, regardless of where he's running. And the hope would be that the pack can kind of file him to the outside into a 4-wide situation and just get around him. Mike Skinner takes over the lead because of this, but we're not sure how long he's going to hold it. So Ricky Rudd's going to now take over the point. Jeff Gordon tries something to get around him. Ricky Craven now losing the draft. Jeff looks to the inside. Jeff trying to lead his first laps today. If he could do that, then Hendrick will have all 3 cars have led a lap in today's race. And he's going to come away ahead of Robert Presley. He's going to hold the front position, drop down in front of Kurt Busch, come back up, and lead his first laps of the Talladega event. So now, Jeff Gordon in the Pepsi car, your leader. See if we can't find where Dale is. There's Dale. Back here with Rusty. Still well in the pack. Back split size. I like what we're seeing. Ricky Craven out well out the back. Junior's still got a ways to go before they catch him, but so far so good. And so far the lap cars haven't created the kind of problems they did at Daytona a little bit. I think the added room at Talladega could be helpful. So now Kurt Busch looks to the inside of Jeff Gordon. It's a drag race to the start-finish line here. And it will be Gordon at the line by thousandths of a second. Now it's Kurt Busch with his teammate behind him, and Texas Terry. Now Jeff Burton looks to the inside of Kurt Busch. We're going to go 3 wide for the lead. Screw that. Texas Terry says we're going to go 4 wide, and it's actually for second place, as Jeff's able to maintain the lead because of this. And now it's a 1-2 from the Hendrick teammates. But Texas Terry doesn't want to run 1-2 with his teammate. He wants the lead. And he's going to get a good run here, and he's going to get it. Tony the Tiger goes back to the point and leads that lap. Now looking to the inside to move into 3rd place is Buckshot Jones. And he's got his contingent with him here. Buckshot going to the bottom, trying to make sure that nobody's going to jump underneath him. Kevin Harvick sending it to the apron, which is not out of bounds in this world. Matt Kenseth does get underneath Buckshot. So now Texas Terry trying to block 3 lines. As the young guns, Matt Kenseth and Kevin Harvick lead the inside. Now Kenseth jumps up. Harvick's going to jump to the inside. Harvick trying to take the first 2 super speedway races now. Texas Terry getting a big advantage. As they're kind of letting old Texas Terry pull it away. But Kyle Petty not going to let him go so quickly. And Petty's going to try and block Dale Jarrett. Dale Jarrett's going to get a good enough run. He's going to look to the inside. But he's unable to get there. Kyle Petty now to the inside of Terry. Terry trying to hold on as best he can, but Kyle Petty's going to take over the lead. But for how long as Dale Jarrett looks to his inside. And Kyle Petty now under fire as Jerry Nadeau looks to go to the point and will. Jerry Nadeau takes over the lead. And now the shock rookie sensation so far, Jason Leffler running second. And with his chance to lead laps for the first time this season, he came so close at Daytona. But I think he's taken the wrong lane as Tony Stewart jumps to his outside. He will be. He's all the way up top. Position shuffling constantly in this race. Junior's soon to go a lap down. Everybody else hanging on towards the back. But it is currently Jerry Nadeau at the point. And Bobby Hamilton's going to look to his inside. Nadeau versus Hamilton. Catching Junior. How will catching Junior affect the field? Here they come. They're going to catch him on the straightaway, so that could be beneficial, although it still looks like it's going to hold up quite a few cars. And it will. We've got a 4-car breakaway now for the front. However, again, this is just one of those things. I think Junior just got kind of caught up at a bad spot and something happened, ended up losing the draft. I don't think his car's greatly underpowered. I mean, he's in the top 3 rated drivers for super speedways, but you know, here we are. And now also at the back is Jeff and Dale. So they've kind of had their thing. So try to get back to the front. It's the Bobby and Bobby show at the front. As Ricky Rudd falls in line, and we get the front 6 running single file through the corner. Front 8. It's starting to kind of even out maybe a little bit. Kind of see a little bit of breakaway. I don't think there's enough there to split the packs completely. I think the last car's got the first car in its grips enough in the draft. Wow. This has kind of been the way today's gone with this race. Is you can see some of these guys get good runs, they get up to the front, and then all of a sudden they're at the back. And did I just see the 77 heading for pit road? Are we already seeing pit stops, or is it's just the 77? So we'll see how that plays into things, right? Because that could be huge. cars come up on the slow car aboard Burton, and he actually almost blocks and gets into Terry Labonte. As we look at potentially more pit stops coming here, and actually a lot of the field, Terry, Nemechek, Ricky Rudd, Michael Waltrip, Bobby Labonte, so on and so on. A lot of the cars they're in. And Mike Skinner, goodness, makes a dive in, gets in. I don't know how he didn't get a penalty out of that. So we look through everybody trying to get to their stalls as best they can. Check on the front. And so now there is definitely this big gap there between cars, and that's mostly caused by the pit stops sequence. And here we go, and you can see that a lot of these guys get in real hard, and that's going to help them out, you would imagine, for trying to keep the draft or keep whatever they can out of this. Of course, pit stops such an equalizer in this race potentially. Those that get good ones will benefit greatly, and those that get bad pit stops, well, they'll be kind of left to dry. So you can see there, Dale's now in. He's getting his tires changed. Craven was, of course, in front of these guys. He was a slow car. And you can see some of the cars coming around. Dale with an excruciatingly slow pit stop. He's going to lose a lot of ground here. Oh, Dale. Dale with an excruciating pit stop is absolutely going to lose a ton of ground. Got Texas Terry looking like he could retake this lead. He should have the advantage on Bobby Hamilton speed-wise. Actually, doesn't too much. He definitely does. Hamilton's still getting up to speed. And there you go. Labonte should retake the lead here. And does. And we'll have to see how the field kind of files out, because now you've got all these gaps and these cars are going to start catching up to one another, building packs and whatnot. And a lot of that is just the way it cycles with pit stops, right? You come out and some of you get a good pit stop, some of you don't. Look at Kyle Petty and Mike Skinner. They were both towards the front. Now they're well off the pace. So we'll have to see what they have in store, but you can see the front five. And the pack's kind of closing up to them, so you can see that too there. These guys are at least going to rebuild somewhat of a front pack, as Terry Labonte leads the way around. Dave Blaney. And Labonte again blocked by a lapped car. At this point, he has got to be fuming at these lapped cars. Like, what are they even doing? At this point, you almost think they're intentionally getting in his way. So now Dave Blaney's going to go to the point, and now Harvick looks to his inside, and there's not a lot of help there for Blaney. But we're going to go 3 wide as Casey Atwood's going to drop to the inside. Atwood now trying to lead him to the line, and he will. Casey Atwood leads his first laps of the season, I think. Definitely his first laps today. And you could see in that shot, which I absolutely love that shot, the distinct packs, right? There's now the front pack, And there's a second pack. And then there is a third massive pack. And we'll have to see how things play out, but it is Kurt Busch leading the way now. The lap car of Will Button up there, leading ahead of Buckshot Jones, who Buckshot Jones now trying to, actually does take over second. Buckshot flying the flag for Petty Enterprises, which I did mention in the last video, I believe, last stream, last race, whatever, the Daytona 500 we showcased. That me and Josh would likely kind of take over an ownership role, essentially, with a couple teams, potentially, and kind of be their leading, guiding force through the future. And maybe, in some cases, change the fortunes of those teams. Certainly the DEI team, right? Because Dale's alive. And at some point, Dale will, the three and Dale will end up at DEI more than likely. We'll see. We're not sure how we're going to do it. But that's kind of the agreement there. Is guaranteeing that at least Dale's going to end up at DEI at some point. I'm in charge of Richard Childress' team. He's in charge of DEI. His other team is Hendrick. We each took 2 teams. And I took Petty. I want to see if I could shape them into something different and better, if you would. So we'll have to wait and see. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun journey throughout time. As we are through 32 laps, and your leader that time was Mike Wallace. So super speedway racing, always fun. Of course, 2 of my cars out the back now. One of his cars well off the pace too. Not so much well off the pace, but just out of the draft. And then you have whatever this pack is. And they're trying to catch the group in front of them. They're doing a pretty decent job, if you ask me. And I imagine if they could do that, they might be able to catch this front pack. I don't know. I just don't know what we're going to see. But Mike Wallace leading the way in that number 7 machine. And the showcase surprise of the year so far, Kevin Harvick. I mean, this kid has shown he can drive, and he's especially doing well on super speedways. He took the Daytona 500, and he's running right up front here at Talladega. So there's definitely something about that kid. And you could see Mark Martin and company and that group has, in fact, caught this other group here. And now we'll see what they can do, right? Can they cycle through this with Bobby and Steve Park, and can they start to run down the lead pack, right? We'll have to wait and see. But now there's just 2 packs. This one's kind of getting a little strung out. We'll see if some of the guys can't hang on. I'm a little concerned with seeing John Andretti kind of lagging off of this, but he might be all right. I'm kind of hoping that my chances for RPE victory isn't squarely on Buckshot Jones' shoulders. But it is Kevin Harvick out in front. Casey Atwood running second. Robert Presley with a good run as well. Harvick continues to lead, so it's still very early. A lot of cars only lap. If we were to get a caution right about now, we'd be in business. Although I'm kind of glad we haven't seen one, right? Because usually the caution is because of a wreck. And if we get a wreck, that means we're going to have slow wreck race cars. Which are slow and cause their own problems. So, as it stands right now, I think we're kind of happy with how the packs have shaped up. And now the 6, and let's take a look. So they're not losing ground. So that's actually interesting. But obviously they are quite a ways behind, right? Let's see what they are on here. And they are, oh, okay. So this pack has been 3 wide for quite a while. And I imagine that is slowing them down. The pack behind them is kind of strung out and running their own way. But the front of it is single file. I'm wondering if that's just not running faster for them at the moment. As this front pack is completely crazed to 4 wide in some spots. Oh my god, Ricky Rudd takes over the lead. Rudd's running about 193. Let's go back and see what. Okay, so that right there is enough to explain what the difference is. Mark Martin diving off into turn 1 was doing 198. The leaders are doing 190. That second pack is coming. And they are coming in a hurry. You can see it every lap. We go onto this backstretch cam and see the field. You could see that second pack is catching. So this is where I love this, right? This is exciting, seeing the pack trying to catch up. Mike Wallace goes back to the point. We've seen this countless times at this point in this pack where they just kind of shuffle around. And we'll continue on with this. Mike Wallace will continue to lead. We're actually almost through 40 laps, so it's going by quickly. Obviously, no cautions. As oh boy, that second pack is starting to get antsy. I think, knowing that they're closing, everybody wants to try to gain whatever positions they can. Now Kurt Busch jumps to second. Buckshot Jones goes through with him. Busch looks to the inside. Buckshot follows. He's going to send the number 97 Sharpie car through to the lead. Will he look to take the lead? He will not. He'll just follow through. Kevin Harvick behind him, and a little bit of single file action out of the first 3 cars. And Harvick's going to jump to the inside. It's getting spicy. That pack is catching quickly. The downsides are, if you are a Kyle Petty fan, Mike Skinner fan, Rusty Wallace, Jeff Gordon, Jeremy Mayfield, Matt Kenseth, you're all well out of the pack. Elliott Sadler, Kevin LePage, and Jarrett. Bill Elliott has lost the draft as well. But the rest of the pack is running strong. And now you can see it. They're close. I think they're close enough to have the draft. The front group is kind of single filed themselves out. But you can see it. Jason Leffler now looking to the inside of Michael Waltrip. The second pack is here. And how will this play into things? As Leffler leads the pack back, Senior's back now with the front group as well because of this. Junior a lap down, but still here. Will Burton, the lap car, up here as well, and still cycling through at the front. Man, what a sequence the pit stops has led to. You can see now the front pack even jumping up to 195 for some of them. Leffler now to the back bumper of Ricky Rudd. Look at the cars on the inside now. Leffler going to look to take the spot from Ricky Rudd. Leffler at this point has charged all the way from that second pack, led it at one point, and is now saying, I want to lead the race. I just don't want to lead a pack. I don't want to get us all the way back. I want to lead this thing. Mark Martin jumps to his inside. And as it kind of has always worked out for Leffler, he gets close and just kind of gives up the bottom or whatever it might be and puts himself in a slightly worse position and kind of loses the spots. But it is going to be one of those second pack cars that leads the way, and it's Mark Martin. Dale Sr. up here as well, makes his way to the front. Mike Ball is still running well, and you've got Jerry Nadeau up here now. The pack is fully built up. It's just a big pack now. Everybody who's running good times is up here, and the rest are just kind of off doing their own thing. Jimmy Spencer just lost the draft. Mark Martin leads the way. They're 3 wide behind. And we're wondering when we're going to catch these two, which now with them running side by side can pose its own risks. I imagine it'll be soon. They're going into the trioval. These guys are off. Yeah, it's not going to be much longer. And that could provide some chaos, especially if those two are still side by side when these guys catch them. Now, they surprisingly have been running quick enough that they're not getting caught quite as quickly as you would think, but still, they're definitely getting run down. And there you can see him now on the screen for that. I imagine it will not be much longer before they catch them. Actually, take a look at the spectator cam here, and yeah, you can kind of see it. Kurt Busch going to look to go to the inside of Jerry Nadeau here. Thankfully, those two have gotten single file. See if this doesn't help the front pack. Considering the front pack is pretty single filed itself, and okay, Skinner, I don't know what you're thinking there, but Mike Wallace, so you take the advantage and go to the inside here. And now a name we haven't talked about much today, but he's now towards the front, Tony Stewart. But it is Kurt Busch who's going to lead this lap. Through a good portion of this race. I'm going to step away and take my break and this rest a little. But 47 laps down, quite a ways to go, and this has been an exhilarating race today. interesting turn of events there, as Dale Sr. taken out by Bobby Hamilton. This, of course, means that anybody that was a lap down will remain a lap down. 31, 45, 8, 32, 4, and 22. 96 is out of the race. However, the big winners in this have to be Jeremy Mayfield, Jeff Gordon, Dale Jarrett, any of those guys that were well out of the race. Like, they were just, nowhere to be found in the pack or anything. They just got a huge boost, as they're now going to be right back in this. Right? They're still going to be out the back, it looks like. But we'll see what happens. Dale obviously has a lot of damage. He stayed out. I wonder if he won't come down this time, because that car is beat up. But staying out here. Now, there's a lot of cars hitting pit road as the pace car actually hits pit road. So I'm confused on what's going on here. It looks like the drivers are confused on what's going on here. But it does look like we're going back to racing, and Dave Blaney's going to be the leader. So, okay, not really sure what has just transpired, especially for all of these cars that have just decided to pit. But your new front handful of cars seems to be Dave Blaney, Brett Bodine, and John Andretti. Kurt Busch still up here. Texas Terry, Johnny Benson. And now they're all pitting. So I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. I think the caution came out at the worst possible time. I think it was time for pit stops, and I think guys just, I don't know. I'm gonna have a word with the Petty Enterprises crew chiefs, because why did we not pit under caution if we were close? Just kind of confused on that. So now it's a completely different game out here, as Jeff Gordon looks to the inside of Harvick here. Jeff trying to make his way back to the front. The field is much smaller now, and that's mostly due to whatever has transpired for pit stops, apparently. So this now will, of course, also create these slow cars that we were hoping that we wouldn't see too much of, but now seem unavoidable. This Texas Terry going to look to get to the inside of Kurt Busch by using Dale Jr.'s pick. Will. Nemechek now to the inside of Terry Labonte. Mike Wallace goes with him. Leffler now looking for something. He's going to potentially get screwed over by Ward Burton. He does. Jerry Nadeau now to the inside of Ward Burton. Ward trying to get a lap back, but at this point, who knows how that's going to work out. Harvick to the inside of Nadeau. Gordon now looking to the inside of Harvick. And mostly because my brake was interrupted and I came back sooner than I anticipated. We'll go ahead and go to brake again. Just because we're supposed to be on brake, but Jeff leads that lap out front, and we're gonna put the camera up here. And I'll be back. All right, so there you go. We do get a caution, ladies and gentlemen. Something wrong with the old Pennzoil Chevrolet. It looks like a gearbox. Same issue that plagued Sterling Marlin, but either way, I saw the smoke, and that is enough for me. Having a mark. Oh, Jesus. So rookie Casey Atwood decides to pinch down under caution on Jeff and just wreck both Jeff and Mark Martin. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. And of course, they just kind of slide down, and Jim Spencer gets collected, Elliott Sadler, Bobby Hamilton. So Jeff just not having a good time of it here at the super speedways. This is a saving grace for quite a handful of cars. The 88, the 44, the 28, the 9, 36, 12, 20, 77. All of them were those guys that had that weird pit stop strategy. It looks like they all get a saving grace out of that. As they will now all be grouped back up. All right, and here we go. I'm not sure what I'm seeing back here. Benson's the leader, but we do see whatever is going on with Waltrip and Andretti. Waltrip is actually on the lead lap. I don't know what we're doing, but all right. As we take the green flag, and Waltrip's going to drop out of line, and the whole pack seems to be in some daze of confusion. Whatever the hell's going on back here. But now back at the front, Johnny Benson, Jason Leffler looking to get around Kyle Petty, who's a lap down car, and now Leffler finally maybe looking to do something. Can he finally lead those laps he's been trying to do since Daytona? As he moves into second behind Johnny Benson. Now to the inside of Benson. Will he have the help? Here they come through the tri-oval. He's got some help. at the line. It's Loeffler. Loeffler leads for the first time in his career. In a great moment. He's going to immediately lose it to Kurt Busch, but he did get to lead a lap finally. 5 bonus points to Jason Loeffler. As the field continues to figure out what it's doing towards the back. He is 2 down. This would be big. He currently has it as he's ahead of Joe Nemechek. But now Kurt Busch looks to his inside. Nemechek goes around him on the outside. Kurt Busch to the or not Kurt Busch, Kevin Busch. Goodness, Kevin Harvick to the inside. Harvick now takes over the lead and once again continues the absolutely dominant performance he's put on this season, overall wise. He stands a good chance of retaking the points lead. Rusty's having a bad day, and well, Sterling Marlin, the points leader, is out with a gearbox issue. So have to wait and see how everything else plays out, but certainly you do have these slow cars now out there. And I wish that I could remove a driver. I don't think I can. Yep, nope, not like iRacing. Because he's only doing 160 some miles an hour, and that's too slow for my book. 170 something is pushing it, but I can't do anything about it either. So now back in this race, thanks to that caution. Buckshot Jones, Dale Jarrett. They're back up here. Jeremy Mayfield, Bill Elliott. Rusty, I think, is a lap down. Yep. Kevin Harvick, though, continues to lead out front. Now Loeffler trying to get back to the lead. Loeffler following Dave Blaney. Which, of course, as of right now, would get him to the lead if he could follow Blaney through. And he's going to do just that. Blaney jumps to the high side. Now with help from Kyle Petty. Loeffler getting help. And Loeffler will lead it at the line. Now as we close in on just under 100 laps to go, just over 100 laps, sorry. Awesome Bill from Dawsonville now looking to take the point. Loeffler able to get into a good position. He gets around Mark Martin, and we have an incident in the back. Ricky Rudd sliding down the tracks. Buckshot Jones is involved. Oh, and he was having such a good day. I'm not sure where this started. I definitely saw Ricky Rudd involved, and that's exactly what we see. Rusty Wallace looks like he leans on Todd Bodine just a little bit, and they kind of touch and come together. Buckshot may be okay. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know that he had all that much damage. Oh! And Jerry Nadeau trying to race back to the line. Actually, what happened there? So he thought he was going to get through. He got clipped a little bit by the 28. Slides up the track. And Ward, who's moving again, just comes through and absolutely demolishes him. And they are both out of this race now because of that. Everybody else seemingly okay. All right. Gonna keep an eye on Buckshot. Of course, the vested interest being one of my drivers and being involved. We'll take a look at that. Open the Buckshot, didn't get too much damage on that. Maybe he just got turned a little. We'll have to wait and see here. Overall, car actually does look okay. And they're going to put left sides on it. Interesting. And he's leaving. Okay, so he very well might not have gotten too much involved in that, and that could be huge for him. We'll keep an eye on it as we go along. Bill Elliott makes it out first. I'm not sure what's going on at this point. This field, I guess, is trying to get itself sorted, maybe. A lot of confusion going on. As Blaney gets into the back of Buckshot. Now we're getting the same thing here. I don't know what's going on. It's like it's not doing the double file as it should be. Not really sure what's going on here with this, but yeah, that's kind of what we're getting. Because the 14 should definitely be on the inside as a lap down car, but he's not. So I don't know. I don't know what's up with it. It's a lot of next level. I don't know what's going on. So there we go. Now 111 to go in this one. And who's gonna win it? Bill Elliott leads the way. Become the second Dodge winner of the season. Jeremy Mayfield trying to put on his best run. So many lap cars up here causing me the chaos of who's actually here. But it is Dale Jarrett now challenging Bill for the lead. Benson is in fact up front, so that is natural position. There's all the wrecked race cars towards the back. Buckshot is kind of holding with the pack. We'll see. It's not exactly looking great. I don't know. We'll see if he can get up here and stick in it. Benson leads the way now. Jeff Burton looking to take the lead from inside. With help from 2 lap cars. Now, Texas Terrier looks to take the lead. He's under fire from Kevin Harvick as well. Dave Blaney's still up here, and okay, Buckshot's looking good, looking like he's okay. So now Blaney looking to take the lead away from Harvick potentially. Harvick leads the way. Leffler battling Buckshot Jones. Blaney to the inside of Harvick. Buckshot trying to fill the gap.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
I don't know when I said your name. But now Buckshot to the inside of Harvick. Harvick's able to hold position though. And now Terry to the inside of Buckshot. Harvick to the inside of Blaney. Can Blaney hold the lead through the tri-oval? He will not. Harvick gets the lead. Harvick now continues to leave Labonte to his inside. More lap cars towards the front. Labonte takes over the point. Jumps up high. Now looks to potentially go back low, and he does. Tony Stewart getting the run now. But it's Labonte out in front. Stewart to his inside. Nemechek to the bottom. And Harvick will jump all the way down across to the inside of Nemechek now. This front pack is intense. Checking throughout the field. Now, as they take this, it's 10 to go to halfway. Harvick leads the way. Burton, or not Burton, but Dale Jarrett looks to his inside. Bill Elliott trying to jump all the way to the bottom of Dale Jarrett and Buckshot Jones. He's able to get to the inside of Buckshot. They're 4 wide behind him. settle it down into a 3-wide. Elliott still trying to find his way past Dale Jarrett. Now Kurt Busch looks to his inside. Harvick leads the way in front. Closing on the very damaged race car of Jeff Gordon, who is super slow. And there it is, causing the issue on the bottom lane. This is going to spread the pack out apart. So now they run up on the extremely slow car of not Jeremy Mayfield, but Casey Atwood. They all get around him with ease. The rest of the field still dealing with Jeff Gordon. Quite a ways to go before they catch the next grouping of cars. The other grouping has finally escaped Jeff Gordon, but they're kind of all by themselves. Good news is I think this somehow weeded out all of the lapped cars. I believe, yeah, everybody in this pack is on the lead lap, and this is the battle for the lead. 1st through 8th. Huh? That is incredible that has happened. And that we have all 4 manufacturers up here. 3 Fords, a Pontiac, 2 Chevys, and 2 Dodges. Tony Stewart takes over the point for the first time in the race. Check back to the point. The second pack looks to be forming back up with the cars that kind of got split around. This front pack kind of getting around the lap cars back here pretty well. Although I think Tony Stewart got caught up behind them. He has, so Tony's going to likely lose the front group. which means we'll be down to 7 cars in this lead pack. Harvick now looks to the inside of Nemechek. Nothing doing. But the Chevys are kind of pulling away a little bit. They're running nose to tail. As I say that, Harvick pulls out a line. Tony actually is hanging on pretty well. Maybe he won't lose the drive. He hasn't. He's still here. What a great job by Tony Stewart to stay in this pack. As we reach the halfway lap, the completion of this will be halfway in the race. Drops far to the inside lane, and you can see they're catching Jeff Gordon again. Jeff and Mayfield still 30 miles off pace. And I just can't remove them. And the field's going to try and split Jeff, and they almost all do, but Buckshot just decides to make whatever move it was to fall right in behind Jeff Gordon and completely ruin any chance he had at this race, and I wonder why he's likely losing that seat at the end of the year. Oh, Nemechek hard into the back of the 19. The 19 slides back up in front, and in he collects Nemechek, and the caution's got to fly for that, and Buckshot drives right into it. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. And there collects Matt Kenseth as well. Kurt Busch is involved. So what happened? Other than the fact that we know that Mayfield's slow pass, and this is why or not Mayfield, sorry, Atwood, very slow. This is why I wish I could have removed these guys, because you saw it. They dive off for the corner. Nemechek gets into the back of Atwood, collects him again. Nemechek's out of it with it. And then sliding down the racetrack is Casey Atwood. And could he have avoided this? Probably. I mean, you know the car's going to slide down the ground. Drives right into it, in my opinion. Then he slides down and just gets absolutely collected by a Oh, So this we didn't see either. So this is still even further. So Bill goes on the bottom, and then kind of gets turned by Jeff Burton. And that collects Kurt Busch, who just about got his nose taken off by Jeff. What a sequence of events. And let me tell you. Who's going to win the race off? It's Dale Jarrett over Kevin Harvick. Tony Stewart up here. Leffler, Blaney. At this point, if it happens again with pit road stuff, I'm just going to have it start sending lappers, not with the restarts. I'm just going to have it send the lappers to the back. Take it from there. All right, so we are going to go back under green. Kurt Busch makes his way out of pit road. And we're back to racing, and it seems like they weren't really stacked up the way they should be. I'm still not sure what's going on with it. We'll have to see, but I think we're going to be sending cars to the back from now on. As for this situation, Leffler trying to go to the inside. Who's Kurt Busch going to cause the problems for? It's going to be none of them. They all squeeze by. And now Leffler trying to take the lead. Leffler going to lead the way around. He's got Bobby Labonte now firing on all cylinders. Terry Labonte's up here as well. Kevin Harvick. But it's going to be Leffler in the singular wireless car. Dodge, whatever, leading the way. Step away, take our break. We'll, of course, stay with the race and whatnot and pay attention to what's going on. As actually there is a caution on the track. Oh, and oh my word, Jeff is having it today. Okay, so that wasn't a caution. So, well, this is the caution. So Jeff just kind of comes down. Junior's trying to fill the hole, and Junior just turns Jeff, sends him to the wall, and absolute oblivion. Well, Bill Elliott, and then Johnny Benson just sends it in there. Now, I'm going to imagine the caution was already or wasn't already out. The caution is oh. bill to go on that one. And how about Benson? Benson sees the smoke. Sees the crash, sees more smoke. He's trying to find his way through, but just can't. Now, you'd imagine that they'd slow down a bit more, but these cars don't do that. So I imagine they're all out of the race now, but we're actually going to go ahead and do what I said I was going to do. We're going to send the lappers to the back from now on. As the whole field pits. Yep. 44 is out, 45 is out, 66, 17, 19, 7, 77, 25, 22, the 1, the 40, the 96. It's been one of those kind of days. A handful of cars still on the lead lap, 13 of them. And even then, Brett Bodine is just barely. So Leffler remains your leader over Bobby Labonte, Texas Terry, Dale Jarrett, Tony Stewart, Joe Nemechek, Ken Schrader, Kevin Harvick, Dave Blaney, Jeff Burton. We are actually back underway racing. I apologize. I was looking away. Jason Leffler leads the way now over Bobby Labonte and Terry Labonte. Who seem to be a little bit more chillish calm. See Kurt Busch definitely off the pace. Got a few more cars off the pace. A few guys without noses. We'll have to see how everything plays out with all this. But now it's Leffler at the point over Bobby Labonte and Texas Terry Labonte. The Labonte brothers now trying to find their way around Leffler. Terry gonna look to the inside. Got nothing doing it. Just don't have the help yet. We'll see if they can get it. Next two cars in line are not going to be for position anyway, so could be some help there. Terry now to the inside of his brother, and he's going to get that. Leffler's going to continue to lead. Terry Labonte gets to the front, or to second place, around his brother. Bobby's not going to fall back. Craven and Andretti are both laps down. And now old Texas Terry two-step, looking to the inside of Leffler. Mind blanks. But Leffler's not going to give it to him easy. Labonte, though, does force him to the inside, and that Tony the Tiger machine is going to the front. And the lead. So once again, Terry Labonte leads the way. We are actually going to officially go to break here, unless they decide to have another caution right as I say this. But we are going to break. All right, and we are back with a lot of racing still to go. It's currently the 5-car show at the front with Tony Stewart, Jason Leffler, Dale Jarrett, and Jeff Burton. Actually, I say 5, it's 6. Sorry. No? It's 5. Yeah, so it's 5. I'm psyching myself out. It's all I've been doing. Rusty seems to have a healthy race car. He's able to hold with these guys. However, he's a lap or 2 down at this point, so he's not really holding them up, but obviously he's just kind of up here and involved. Closer inching to the end of this race. We're now down to some 60 to go. We'll of course have more pit stops. Whatever else lays in lie, the slower cars have caused their issues and led to the problems and the spread out field that we see now. But much like Daytona, we still have the front pack. They're still racing hard. Kurt Busch, what are you doing? And somehow, oh my word. Oh, and a huge hit for Kevin Harvick. I don't know. I don't know what I just saw out of Kurt Busch. I really don't. This is the rookie mistake of the century. Because there's no doubt in my mind he comes down. And yeah, he just absolutely comes down the track across Tony's nose. Tony survives this. I thought right there Kurt was going to go over. Almost did. Tony's able to get up the track and survive this. Rusty gets collected. Somehow, I don't know how, Dale Jarrett just survived that. And then Bobby Hamilton with nowhere to go just collides into Rusty Wallace. And then Kevin Harvick just straight into Kurt Busch. Absolute heavy hit there. He collects Ricky Craven. Nemechek gets into Craven. John Andretti's involved. And it looks like everybody else got through okay. Man, what a... Jesus. What a moment. Wait, why are we racing? What are these cautions? Was the pace car out for... So, okay. I don't know what I have witnessed. We're throwing the caution again because that is ridiculous. We're not going to screw over the race because of that. I mean, that was... The pace car came out of pit road and immediately shut the lights off. They went back green before there was even a chance to pit. I don't know how you call that... I don't know how you call that fair. So absolutely not on that. I don't... This has been all kinds of screwed up. This version of Talladega. Yeah, no. Goodness. If that's how it's been all race long, I apologize to cars that have been screwed over by that. I wish I would have caught that. And this definitely leads me to believe that we are going to the modern, not modern, but modern for this game. The 03 version's moving next year. So the out of bounds line is going to come into effect. I think it did for 02 anyway. But yeah, that just would have been an absolute shit show if I'd let that happen. And Leffler, Mayfield, Labonte, Dale Jarrett, Tony Stewart all get absolutely, Jeff Burton all get absolutely screwed out of that because the pace car just decides that it's going to come to a stop or it's just not going to pace them essentially. I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. There's a lot wrong with this world. Lights go out on the pace car. think you can wait, Leffler. Don't ruin your race here. It does look like it's going to send the lap cars to the back, which is good. That's what you want to see. Though nobody seems to be deciding on what they want to do here. Okay. Not sure why a handful of the car. Well, the pace car's coming in, and whatever is going on is going. I don't understand this race in the slightest. But nonetheless, it is Terry Labonte, Jason Leffler, and Jeff Burton leading the way. They're the first three cars, and they get three lap cars separating them from Dave Blaney, Tony Stewart, Dale Jarrett, Kenny Schrader, Brendan Mayfield, Terry Labonte. Leffler immediately jumps to the high side, tries to get around Terry the long way. This is going to end up backfiring on him, it looks like. What a series of events this race has been so far. So Texas Terry leads the way. Again, he's back out in front. He's had a great race today. Jeff Burton's there. You get Blaney, Schrader. This is a good group of cars up here at the front. Mayfield jumps out in front for the first time today. Big lead there. Sorry if I'm a little bit distracted here at this point, trying to fill out some things. Stewart behind Mike Skinner out front, but Skinner is not for position. And now you can see Leffler trying to come through with help, running fast on the high side. It is Dale Jarrett and Bobby Labonte getting the edge on the inside. Tony Stewart leads the way further. Slow cars still out on track. We're down to a handful of cars left. Honestly, I don't even know if we have 20. 22. We do have 20. It's not a lot of cars left. A lot of accidents. Just a lot of accidents. Front handful of leaders starting to kind of try to sort themselves out. Right now, the front five have kind of gotten away. Maybe. Schrader and Mayfield are still here. The front seven. Kind of slowly, surely getting a little bit away from Nemechek, Blaney, and Burton back there. The slow car, Mark Martin, up ahead. Will he pull a Kurt Busch as well? He does. This time, Tony's not as close. That could have been terrible. I get that the AI is running their lines and his lap cars, they're running. I wish there was some coding that was like, hey, you have a fast car behind you, and you don't run the same line. It's going to end up with everybody dead. But, you know. We are as Mayfield looks to the inside of Andretti. Labonte fills the gap to that inside. We continue on. And just as quickly as we thought that maybe Burton and Blaney were out of it, they're back in it. It continues to be Tony Stewart leading the way. I don't think we have any Jeff Burton will be the winner, I believe. First time of the season. We do. Burton won Martinsville just recently. Actually, last week, be back-to-back weekends. Terry Labonte looking to the inside now. But nothing there. We'll inch ever closer to the finish of this one. And I'm going to step away. And now we close in on 40-some laps to go. Loeffler and Mayfield battle it out in front. Close behind Tony Stewart, Bobby Labonte, Dale Jarrett, Jeff Burton. Dave Blaney trying to get his car back up in this group, and Terry Labonte as well. And they should do so with ease. Mayfield's car, I don't know where it's come from, but it's been running very well the last handful of laps. We've got this kind of smaller field, and now you can see they're starting to single file it out. I wonder just how many more pit stops they're going to have to make in this race. We saw the first set of green flag pit stops start to occur around 28, 29 at the beginning of this race. So it's a question of how far they can go. Since then, obviously, we've had cautions that have kept that from happening, but we expect to see green flag pit stops again at some point. Legitimate green flag pit stops. And we'll see how that affects things, right? Because, boy, that could be so huge in the grand scheme of things. As Dale Jarrett kind of looks to the inside of Loeffler. And he is going to get there. Texas Terry thought he was going to fill the hole, but John Andretti, the lap car, with a head of steam, was able to fill the gap. So now Dale Jarrett tries to chase down Jeremy Mayfield here. Rest of the field, we see just off face, just kind of cars all strung out wherever they may be. Nemechek's done lost the draft, so we're down to 9 cars in the top pack here. And they are the top 9, plus a random lap car in the form of John Andretti. Tony Stewart looking low, and Tony's going to make a last-second dive for pit road. So here we go. It's going to be where it's going to get interesting because, like I said, I don't think they could do more than 30 laps. I don't know if it was a strategy play early in the race, or maybe they can do more than 30 laps. But we'll have to wait and see. Tony pits on 144. You imagine the rest of the field shouldn't be too far behind here. Coming off of 4. And how many other takers do we have? We have, looks like 5 of them. Loeffler, Blaney, Labonte, Jarrett, and Burton. All dive for pit road, leaving just 3 of the lead lap runners. Tony now on the backstretch. Of course, the question will be, where does he come out in relation to everybody else? So Bonnie gets out first, then Jarrett, Burton. You can see Stewart there. He's going to actually get a good jump on this. And it seems like something went wrong for Loeffler leaving pit road. So Loeffler now going to be in a precarious position here, as I imagine Yep, Mayfield's on pit road. Mayfield's on pit road by himself, though. So Mayfield is now leaving. And there's Terry. See where Mayfield slots in with this. It looks like he's going to be in a good position here. He's actually going to maintain a great position. So that worked out very well for him. There we go. So there's now Bobby and Kenny Schrader, and we'll see again where they cycled through. This one not looking quite as good. But we'll wait and see. They may have cycled as well. And they are going to beat them out for the time being. Leffler, all by himself, absolutely gunning for something, I guess. So, now, if math is correct, we should see them have to pit for a splash of fuel, potentially. Right around 170 something, yeah, pretty close to 180. Terry and company are going to catch on here. The battle can begin between these five. Schrader gets shuffled out. John Andretti, of course, not legitimately in this battle, but still finding himself involved. Terry Labonte looking to the inside of his brother, Bobby Labonte. The eldest Bobby still, the eldest Labonte still trying to prove the better Labonte. And now we'll see John Andretti look to his inside. Held Jarrett to the absolute bottom. Was Labonte at the line. As I will take a break. So the lap car strikes again, and this time giving Terry Labonte a massive lead. It was Ron Hornaday Jr.'s slow car there that creates its own havoc and problems. Labonte out to the massive lead now, but will obviously get run down here. There you go. Danger has officially caught him already. And we'll look to go to his inside. John Andretti trying to get his lap back. Struggles for Mayfield back there still. We lost Jeremy Mayfield in this battle. He's stuck behind Ricky Craven. Hadn't been too far off base for the most part, but Harry almost runs over the back of his brother. Closing in on a finish here. Terry to the inside of Bobby and Jeff Burton, 3 wide for second. Over Labonte, and Schrader and Burton. Two Pontiacs, 2 Fords, and a Chevrolet lead the way. The highest running Dodge is Dave Blaney in 8th. And now just 31 laps to go. On this completion, I will step away for a minute, take a 10-lap break. Just trying to keep the race from getting too far gone before the end of the race. So they'll come to complete now as the 3 cars kind of break away a little bit. But they'll complete lap 158 and now set us up with 30 to go to the finish. And with that, we'll step away. So a very stunning sequence of events as we get to 20 to go in this race. We're actually correction, 21 to go. So we saw Hornaday kind of cause a stack up, and here he is again. That very slow race car of his. And once again, Terry Labonte gets away out in front. Dale Jarrett gets stuck up behind him again. This time it's far worse as Bobby and Terry pull away. It's the Labonte show. As now we take the flag for 20 to go. Also, the bigger shock, John Andretti right now up to 10th place. He's not that great of a run essentially, just because he's been with the leaders. He's obviously still a lap down, and we'll see how it plays out the rest of the way, knowing other cars could potentially go a lap down here. As you can see, old Texas Terry Labonte, car to beat so far. Jarrett not going away. Bobby's still fighting as well. And the show will continue. Now Terry's got his own little issues dealing with Mark Martin. But he's able to get down in front of him. And both Terry and Dale Jarrett make their way to pit road. We knew this was potential. And this is going to decide a lot of the factors of it. As there goes the 01. Jason Leffler on pit road as well. Dave Blaney. Tony Stewart out as well. Not out, but coming out of pit road. Now it's Bobby Stern. This, of course, I don't think they ran out the fuel tanks, but I think they are making the stops a little early, knowing what's at stake. John Andretti coming as well now. Terry does leapfrog Dale Jarrett, so Labonte had a fantastic pit stop. See how that plays out going forward. Bobby's all by himself. Mayfield now trying to catch on with Tony. Blaney's all by himself, so is Leffler. Labonte and Jarrett battling it out, and here comes the rest. Here comes Bobby, and in the background you can see Schrader, LePage, Michael Waltrip. They're not as important in this scenario. Actually focus on Bobby. So he just dropped the jack. And he takes his time. They will get him out first. Schrader with a terrible time. There's John Andretti. And there's his brother and Dale Jarrett in the background. Will everything cycle out? Bobby can get a great run up on this apron, getting up to speed. as it stands, he's going to get... He may run away with this. Especially if these two can't figure it out enough to get in line. Like they should have done in the first place. So now Labonte will run side by side with Andretti. As Terry tries to chase him down. We'll have to see what happens here. We're inching ever closer to the finish of this thing. So we only have 15 laps to go. And why these two are still deciding to battle, I don't understand what Dale Jarrett's thought process is. You'll have plenty of time to battle once you catch Bobby. And once again, Jarrett dives into the inside, and they're going to start the battle again. They are still running about 5 miles an hour faster, so we'll see. Maybe they've caught the draft. Oh yeah, I definitely think they've caught the draft. So good, we will at least have a battle for the win here. As Bobby gets stuck behind the slow car of Elliott Sadler. And just like that, because Bobby was battling with John Andretti because he made that decision, he's now going to get himself screwed out of it. Oh, how I wish I could make the lappers not a factor, but they just get involved. So now Bobby Labonte basically out of it. I don't think he can come back on his own. Not unless he still has the draft. Which it looks like he might. But now it's Terry versus Dale Jarrett. Terry now looks to the inside of John Andretti. Ever closer to the end of this race. Labonte now able to hold position. Honestly, Bobby's not falling back. I think he may still have somewhat of the draft. Terry trying to pass John Andretti. He's going to get it done. As they come to the line for 11 to go in the Talladega 500. Dale Jr. now the slow car in front. Plenty of time to react here. Terry goes high. Dale Jarrett goes high. Bobby's going to follow. Bobby got back to them, and he's going to follow them potentially through. Dale Jarrett's going to get blocked off by Junior. All of them are kind of separated. They all wait on Junior. Terry's going to pull away. But, of course, Terry by himself isn't going to be able to overpower 3 cars once they do all get around Dale Jr. And they do. Terry wasn't able to get that far ahead, but far enough. He'll come to the line, and we'll take 10 to go this time. Bobby now going to dive into the inside. Bobby Labonte wants the lead back. It's Labonte versus Labonte, and an Andretti splitting them. As here comes Jarrett. three-way battle for the lead. The 93 and the 01 battling side by side. This actually could become very interesting because those could be positions for John Andretti. Now 3 wide for the lead behind John Andretti. Terry Labonte getting some of the advantage off of the draft. And he's going to hold the lead at the line. It's close. What a race this is shaping up to be. Given it's only 3 cars here at the end, but still. Bobby Labonte takes full control now. Dale Jarrett runs second. Terry bringing up the rear of this little group. Bobby looks to the inside of Andretti. Now it's Terry behind Bobby. Terry will go with his brother. They're 2 by 2. As they close on the slow cars in front of them, Labonte looks to the absolute inside of Labonte. Like nothing there. As the pack will catch Leffler and Blaney. Labonte goes to the inside. Wide with lap traffic. Bobby's going to take over the point. Terry with a little bit of a shot to the bumper, moves him out of the groove. Labonte to the inside. And also just like that, the 43 car just got to 8th place in this race. Now, Terry with help. Dale Jarrett now behind him. Bobby Labonte slinking towards the back. We have a small pack now formed up. The lap cars of Leffler and Andretti, who are battling for their own position, now getting involved. Labonte using them as his own little pick. And Terry's able to fall in front of John Andretti. Now towards the back of the pack is Bobby Labonte and Dale Jarrett. Terry leading the way. John Andretti will look to the inside. John will force his way inside. Terry with help from Leffler. Dale Jarrett on the bottom line. And the inside line is likely to get held up here, and it does. Dale Jarrett held up by Elliott Sadler. Bobby Labonte does get around. At least better than Dale Jarrett did. Lap cars still playing a factor in this race. As now Terry Labonte gets a big lead. Now he's stuck behind Dale Sr. He's going to close up the gap for Bobby Labonte. Bobby Labonte with a big run. Terry's still stuck behind Sr. He's taking the wrong lane. Bobby Labonte is going to get through. Can Terry drop down quick enough and hold their draft? He drops down. The question is how much of the draft does he still got? Bobby Labonte now fighting with Leffler and Andretti. Terry did hold enough of the draft, and he is there. So it's a battle between the Labontes. Dale Jarrett well out the back now, over a second behind. Gonna need more lap traffic help. Bobby looks to the inside. Terry looks even further down. Terry's gonna get the line. Will he have the help? Terry would have a line there if that was the finish, but it's not. There's 4 laps to go. Sorry, 3 laps to go. Terry with the big run. Can he make the right decision and not get stuck behind Nemechek? It looks like he will. I'll follow suit through. Bobby not done yet. He's getting a great run here. He'll be able to have a fight with his brother. Terry goes to the inside of Leffler. Bobby to the outside. Dale Jarrett actually getting a run back at this. This isn't over for Dale Jarrett. 2 to go. Now Terry trying to draft off of John Andretti. Dale Jarrett's there. He's made his way all the way back. It's a 3-car battle for the win again. Now Terry looking to put another lap car between him and the rest. He's going to look to the inside of Andretti. He's going to have that spot. Can he get around Junior without any problem? He does. Bobby has a bit of a hiccup towards the back, and now it's Labonte versus Dale Jarrett. Jarrett looks to the inside. He's going to have a run here. This could spell doom for Bobby, or for Terry, with no help from anybody else. Everybody else jumps to the inside. Bobby's going with Andretti. He jumps to the inside. Can't hold it. Andretti to the inside of Dale Jarrett. Terry Labonte is going to go from first to third in the final lap, but it's Bobby Labonte to the inside of Dale Jarrett now. And Bobby looks to the inside of John Andretti. With some help from Ryan Blaney, Bobby Labonte is going to come off the final turn and through the tri-oval. Your winner of the Talladega 500. Would actually ended up being a great race towards the end there. John Andretti in 8th place finish. Terry Labonte falling back to 5th, or 5th, not 5th, but 3rd. An interesting race to say the least. Actually, technically, John Andretti is going to be the last car to cross the line because he was in front of the leaders. So another great race, another good finish, and yeah, this has been an interesting season so far, and we look forward to the rest of the schedule. We'll see you guys next time. We'll give a little bit of post-race stuff here, but yeah, you can see there, and 22 cars finished the race. Bobby Labonte gets one done at Talladega. Kevin Harvick does retake the points lead. That's actually, I say that, he doesn't. See that Bobby Labonte is 93 points behind? I know. Is that Bobby has an extra 111 points coming his way. So your points leader, as of right now, is Bobby Labonte. Kevin Harvick with Bobby Labonte. Still a great showing by everybody involved in a fun race. We will see you all